Lucas slammed his foot on the brake pedal. The car jerked to a stop. His seatbelt locked tight against his chest. He breathed heavily. Ha! Ha! He was sitting in the middle of a busy junction. Cars were zooming past him on the left and right. In the passenger seat, Mrs. Gable, the driving examiner, was writing something on her clipboard. She used a red pen. Lucas watched the red ink touch the paper. Scratch, scratch, scratch. He knew that sound. That was the sound of failure. He looked at the sign in front of him. It was a red and white triangle. It said, yield. Lucas thought he knew what it meant. He thought it meant, go if you are fast enough. Clearly, he was wrong. But before we find out if Lucas failed his test. Hello, drivers and passengers. Welcome back to the podcast. I am your teacher, and today we are hitting the road. In this episode, we are going to explore a very stressful, but very necessary part of modern life, driving rules and road signs. You will learn English by listening to the story of Lucas, an experienced driver from Brazil who discovers that driving in the USA is a completely different game. We will navigate intersections, highways, and the confusing language of the road. To help you, we are going to focus on 3 specific power words that are essential for any driver: yield, intersection, and right of way. Buckle up. Check your mirrors. Let's start the engine. Lucas was a good driver. Actually, he was a great driver. In his hometown of São Paulo, the traffic was chaotic. Motorcycles weaved between cars. Buses stopped in the middle of the street. To drive there, you had to be aggressive. You had to be fast. But now, Lucas lived in a quiet suburb in Ohio. And in Ohio, driving was not about speed. It was about rules. Lucas needed his U.S. driver's license for his new job delivering flowers. He had failed the written test once, because he didn't understand the vocabulary. Today was the practical road test. Let me clarify. A practical road test is the part of the exam where you actually drive the car with an examiner. It is not on paper, it is in real life. Lucas sat in his small silver sedan. The passenger door opened and Mrs. Gable got in. Mrs. Gable was intimidating. She had grey hair pulled back in a tight bun. She wore thick glasses on a chain around her neck. She smelled like peppermint and strict rules. Good morning, Mrs. Gable said without smiling. Place your hands at 10 and 2. Check your mirrors. When you are safe, exit the parking lot. Lucas gripped the steering wheel. His hands were sweating. He felt like a teenager again, even though he was 35 years old. He checked the rearview mirror. He checked the side mirrors. He looked over his shoulder to check his blind spot. Your blind spot is the area next to your car that you cannot see in your mirrors. You have to physically turn your head to check it. If you don't check your blind spot, you might hit another car. Lucas pulled out of the parking lot perfectly. He used his blinker, or indicator. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. He turned onto the main road. Turn left at the next intersection, Mrs. Gable commanded. Lucas saw the green light ahead. He prepared to turn left. But then, he saw a car coming from the opposite direction. The other car was going straight. In Brazil, Lucas might have sped up to turn before the other car. But here, he hesitated. Who had the right of way? He decided to wait. He stopped in the middle of the intersection, waiting for the other car to pass. Good, Mrs. Gable mumbled. She made a check mark on her paper. It wasn't red ink. It was blue. Lucas relaxed a little. They drove for 10 minutes. Lucas obeyed the speed limit perfectly. He stopped completely at the stop signs. He didn't do a rolling stop. A rolling stop is when you slow down at a stop sign, but you don't stop the wheels completely. This is illegal. You must feel the car stop moving entirely. Then, they approached the highway. Merge onto the highway, Mrs. Gable said. Then take the next exit. This was the hard part. The highway was busy. Cars were moving at 65 miles per hour. Lucas pressed the gas pedal. The engine roared. He had to find a gap in the traffic. He saw a truck in the lane next to him. He checked his speed. He checked his mirror. He slid the car smoothly in front of the truck. Nice merge, Mrs. Gable said. Lucas felt a smile growing on his face. He was doing it. He was going to pass. But then, they exited the highway and came to a strange circle in the road. It was a roundabout. In the US, roundabouts are becoming more common, but they can be confusing. As Lucas approached the circle, he saw a triangular sign with a red border. Inside, it said, "Yield." Lucas looked left. There was a car already inside the circle. But the car was moving slowly. Lucas thought, I can make it. He didn't stop. He didn't slow down enough. He entered the circle. The car inside the circle honked loudly. Lucas slammed on the brakes. His car stopped just inches away from the other vehicle. Mrs. Gable grabbed the dashboard. Her pen flew out of her hand. "Mr. Silver," she shouted. "That sign says yield. It does not say go if you feel like it." Lucas's heart sank into his stomach. He had made a critical error. The silence in the car was heavy. "Drive back to the testing center," Mrs. Gable said coldly. Lucas drove back slowly. He felt terrible. He had failed. He wouldn't get the job. He would have to ride a bicycle in the rain. They parked the car. Lucas turned off the engine. He waited for Mrs. Gable to shout at him. "Do you know why you almost crashed?" Mrs. Gable asked. Her voice was calmer now. I thought I had time," Lucas said. "It is not about time," she said. "It is about the rule." Lucas is sitting in the parking lot, waiting for his fate. But before we hear the final score, let's look at the 3 power words that explain his mistake. Word number 1, yield. This is one of the most important words on the road. To yield means to give way. It means you must let other road users go first. You don't always have to stop completely, but you must wait until it is safe. Example, when entering a highway, you must yield to the traffic already driving on it. Word number 2, intersection. This is the place where 2 or more roads meet or cross each other. It is usually controlled by traffic lights or stop signs. Example, the accident happened at a busy intersection in the city center. Word number 3, right of way. This is the legal right to go first. If you have the right of way, other cars must wait for you. If you do not have it, you must yield. Example, pedestrians usually have the right of way at a crosswalk. Host, okay. Lucas failed to yield because the other car had the right of way. Now, let's see if Mrs. Gable fails him. Mrs. Gable looked at her checklist. There were many blue check marks for good. But there was that one big, ugly incident at the roundabout. "Mr. Silver," she said. "You are a skilled driver. You handle the car well. You merge well. But you are aggressive." Lucas looked down at his steering wheel. "I am sorry," he said. "In my country, if you hesitate, you don't move." Mrs. Gable sighed. She took off her glasses. "I know," she said. "I lived in Rome for 2 years. I know how it is. But here, safety is about predictability. Other drivers expect you to follow the signs. If you break the pattern, you break the safety. She looked at the paper again. That error at the roundabout was a critical fault. Usually, that is an automatic fail. Lucas closed his eyes. He knew it. However, Mrs. Gable continued. You reacted fast. You braked. You didn't hit the car. And the rest of your driving was perfect. She scribbled something at the bottom of the page. I am going to give you a passing grade, she said. Lucas opened his eyes wide. Really? But... Mrs. Gable raised a finger. I am passing you with a warning. You must learn patience. The yield sign is not a suggestion. It is a command. Do you understand? Yes, Lucas said. I understand. I will yield. I will yield to everyone. I will yield to the squirrels. Mrs. Gable cracked a tiny smile. Don't yield to squirrels, Mr. Silver. Just drive safe. She handed him the paper. It was stamped passed. Lucas walked into the Department of Motor Vehicles building. He felt lighter than air. He had his paper. He was going to get his license. He realized that driving in a new country isn't just about controlling the machine. It is about learning the culture. In Ohio, the culture was patience. The culture was taking turns. As he walked out with his temporary license, he saw a stop sign in the parking lot. He stopped. He looked left. He looked right. He waited a full 3 seconds. He smiled. He was an American driver now. Lucas learned that the rules of the road are actually a language. A red octagon means stop. A triangle means yield. Once you speak the language, you are safe. The moral of the story is this: confidence makes you a driver, but patience makes you a survivor. Now, I have a question for you. Driving is different everywhere. In your country, are drivers aggressive or patient? And what is the most confusing road sign you have ever seen? Tell me your crazy traffic stories in the comments below. If you want to navigate the English language as smoothly as a luxury car, please click subscribe and listen to this episode next. We are going to explore car maintenance vocabulary, what to say when your car breaks down. Thank you for listening. Watch your blind spots, respect the right of way, and I'll see you in the next story.